Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a different kind of video. I'm going to do a how to begin cash stuffing based on my experience. Now, I think that the one thing you need to remember, and it's always my top advice, is never compare your budget or your cash stuffing to anybody else's. We can always see what somebody else is doing and like it and then try and recreate it or do the same kind of method as them. Maybe we've seen an envelope that we like that you're thinking, oh, I would advantage from that, and you would get a different envelope. But we can't be looking at everybody's budget and seeing what they put into savings challenges and what they put into envelopes and compare that to our own. That is my one piece of advice, because everybody's got different priorities. Everyone's got different family needs, personal needs. We all work at a different job, we've all got different circumstances, so that is my number one advice. To start this, I would like just to say that I am no expert. I came into cash stuffing from TikTok. I watched a couple of TikToks that were cash stuffing and I thought, well, that looks quite fun and it looks like a good way to save. And it definitely is a great way to save, actually. I have never saved this much money, apart from my house deposit, but then I was living with my mum and dad at the time, so it was much easier. But apart from that, I have never saved money in advance for things. Like, if I was going on holiday, it would always been the last paycheck before I went away, or even Christmas, maybe the last 2 paychecks before I bought all the presents. But cash stuffing has totally changed that for me, and I'm really grateful that I came across it. So yeah, it was TikTok to start with, and then I started watching some YouTube videos. A couple of my original people that I started following were Pinching the Pennies and Fuchsia Budgets, who was balancing the budget way back, and then Budget with Ira, of course, as well. And I just thought, I'm going to document this for me to see my progress, and if I could help somebody, then that would be great. So just remember that when you are watching this, it is my experience and it's not maybe how other people started it, but I just want to show you in case you were kind of in the same boat as me. I am very lucky in that I don't have much debt. So I've got my mortgage and I've got a car loan. My car loan, I actually can't overpay. It's set at £101 a month. I have inquired about overpaying that, but if I overpay it, they actually end up charging me more. I'm not sure how much more, but I'm only sitting at under £2.5 grand, so I'm kind of fine with that just now. My other debt I've got is I've got a Very account. My Very account has currently £389 on it. That was for a mattress. It was more than that. It was sitting way above that. But I've been paying it monthly, over the monthly, what's it called? The monthly limit, the lower amount. I can't remember what the word's called actually. And I've been paying a wee bit more to it every month, and I've just finished paying for my laptop last month, which I was really quite proud of. So yeah. So to start my cash stuffing journey, what I done was I looked at what I was spending my money on. So I just went through my bank, kind of the last couple of months. I think they recommend 3 months. And I was looking at what I have spent. So to get started, I was just writing down what I spent my money on. So I noticed there was a need for eating out. Because I had far too many takeaways. I didn't want to have that many takeaways, but I noticed, I think it was at one point, it was £150 in a month for our family, and that's just not on. So I thought, I'm going to need a wallet for eating out, because that's where my money's going. I also thought about gifts, and then other ones I was thinking about was long term, which I'm going to just put down here was an emergency fund. And Christmas. Pet as a short term. And then I was also looking, and I spend a lot of money on my daughter, so I also needed one for her. So I'm just going to put child. Now, this is kind of what I thought about I needed. And then emergency fund and Christmas was kind of like the longer terms, and holiday. Now, a good one to have here is also debt, because a lot of people debt snowball, which I'll explain in a minute. So this was my kind of low priority sinking funds, and this is kind of my longer priority sinking funds. Now, sinking funds can be confusing, I think. I actually don't really call them my sinking funds as such. I just call them my low and high priority. But basically, a sinking fund is when you put like a small amount away into each envelope for like a specific goal or event or something like that. So I started last year in, I think it was either October or November for Christmas this year, and I'm £120 away from my goal. And I've actually started my Christmas shopping, which is great. I've never been able to do that this early. Same with like holiday and emergency. I mean, you can have a goal of like 500 or 1,200 for your holiday. You would just put a wee bit a month every week or every month, and that would slowly build up. And that's what a sinking fund is. Now, these are my more variable sinking funds. So these are going to be getting dipped into perhaps every month, every 2 months. I don't know. Just with any dip. Now, cash envelopes is something completely different. Not different, but it's my weeklies. Let's say weeklies. So you've got your groceries and your fuel. You've got your miscellaneous, social, and let's just say fun, or I've actually got a days out one. So your fun and social could actually come under the same one, but I personally have days out and not social or fun. But that could be anything. Now, whatever you want in your cash envelopes or your sinking funds is totally up to you. This is about your budget and what you're spending your money on. So if you feel a need to have a sinking fund or a cash envelope for, let's say, energy juice, I've seen that before, or something really specific like Costa, Starbucks, something like that where you're spending lots of money, then you do that because it's your budget and this is what you're needing to restrict yourself on. Not so much restrict, but just watch what you're spending. Because you've seen in your budget, you've overspent in that category, and this is going to help you, the cash stuffing. Cash stuffing is not for everyone. I've seen a few people say that it's not helping them. But personally for me, it allows me to manage my money better. I've obviously, like I've said, I've been able to save up for events that have not happened yet, and obviously like holidays and stuff, I've had money there rather than having to use it off the last paycheck. And just in general, it's given me a sense of security knowing that I've got money for things such as an emergency. And if something goes wrong with the car, I would maybe just have, that's a good point actually, car. So this could be your car tax, insurance, and maintenance. I don't know how to spell maintenance, so just ignore that. Right. So this is just kind of a rough guide. I have got a video where I've shown you what's in my binders. I will quickly show you what's in my daily binder just so you can kind of get a grips with what's in here. So I've got a time with friends. Now this is actually meant to be in my other wallet, but I take this out with me when I've got something on, rather than taking the whole other binder. So I've got my groceries and I've got household. Now household and groceries are different for me. Household is stuff like toiletries, toilet roll, cleaning supplies, stuff like that. And I used to be a big one for going into Home Bargains and B&M and etc. like that. And I would spend lots of money in there. So I wanted something separate. So I've got household and then I've got home improvement, which I can then go into Home Bargains or B&M and buy something with. Fuel, obviously. Miscellaneous. Now miscellaneous, I mean, this week I used it for parking because I don't have a wallet for parking. I don't do it that often. So miscellaneous, that works for me. Miscellaneous is a great envelope to have. Spending, this is my spending. And then I've got days out because we as a family go out daily, weekly, a good few times a month, and I think that it's better in this one than it is in sinking fund, even if it was like a low priority variable sinking fund. And then Lucas, this is my little boy, this is for his like nappies and formula and stuff. And then I've got a rollover as well. So the next thing you want to do is look at your income. So let's say your income is 1,856 and 29 pence. Now this is just a rough guess. I don't know. Now let's say you've got bills. So bills, we'll put rent. And we will put council tax. And let's put subscriptions. Gas and electric. Let's also put TV and internet. And phone. Yeah, let's just put them. So let's say your rent is 400. Council tax 150. I'm just kind of going based on numbers what I am. Subscriptions, we'll put £48 a month. This is just kind of like Disney Plus, Netflix, whatever. Gas and electrics, I'm going to put 150 for that. TV and internet, about 60. And then phone, 45. Mine's is more than that, but it's probably overpayment. I probably should, you can get cheaper. So then let's count up your bills. Okay, so we've got 400 plus 150 plus 48 plus 150 and 60 and 45. 853. So then we've got debt, let's say. Oh. We've got a credit card. And we've got a loan. The loan's 105 and your credit card can be 58. So this is equaling £163. Now I've not done any of this in advance, so it might be a wee bit messy. I do apologise. It's just that a few people said they wanted kind of like a how-to, and this is how I done mine's when I first started. So then you want your income minus your bills and your debt and see what that equals to. So we've got £1856.29 minus 853 minus 163. So you're left for the month £840.29. Now, where's all that money went? You don't know. So I'm just going to pop onto this page what we kind of roughly said. So we've got groceries. I'll go and do this and I'll be back in a second. Okie doke. So what I've got here is I've got my cash envelopes, which is my weeklies. Then I've got my sinking funds down here. These are my kind of like short term or low priority ones, variable. And then these are my longer term and my kind of like goals. So we've got £840.29. Now let's say you're wanting £50 a week. Yep. And then let's say £100 for your fuel. And then miscellaneous, £20 a month. This is going on a monthly, but it would be the same thing for your weekly. You would just have to see what your bills are for that week. And then social, we'll maybe put 40. So you're 200 and 100, 20 plus 40. You're £360 for your cash envelopes. So 840 and 29 minus 360, £480 and 29 left. Now, 29 is actually not a big buffer, so you could just leave an extra fiver in there, so £5.29, and then stuff £475. So I think that's what we're going to do. So you would maybe put into eating out. It depends on how much you eat out, to be honest, but let's put £50. That's what I usually do for the month. Gifts, we'll put 50. Pet, we'll put 20. Again, it depends on what kind of pet you've got. And then child, we'll put 40. Emergency, we will put 80. That's £20 a week, roughly. Car maintenance. Now, say you want to bulk this one out because you've got an MOT coming up or something. We'll put 150. And then Christmas, we'll get that started. We'll put 60. Holiday. Now, we've not got a holiday coming up, so we don't need to put anything in it if we don't want to. But let's just say we want to put £20 in it. We'll see how much that is. It's really hard to actually pretend this is my budget, if that makes sense. Like, it makes more sense when it's your budget and you know what you've kind of got coming in and coming out. So that's 475. It's 470. So then we've only got £5 to put to debt. If you want to put less to that, to put more into debt, then that's what you can do. The whole point of the debt is that you put a little bit amount of each week or month into your debt. It grows and grows, and then once you've got a lump sum, you pay that to your next debt that you've got. That's, you kind of tackle them, well, this is what they say, you tackle them from lower to higher. So your lowest debt, you want to get that out of the way, and then whatever your minimum payment for that debt is, you then up that to the next debt. That's only if you've got a lot of debt. I know that Rainbow Budgets, she does a lot of kind of like debt and stuff. Personally, I've never had much debt at all. I've been really lucky in that sense. So it's really hard for me to kind of explain it. So let's just say that this is all 475. So we're going to have 200 and 100. Then we've got 60. Then we've got another 50 and 50. And we've got 20 and 40. We've got 80. 150, 60, 20, and 5. So that comes to 835. And your buffer equals £5.29. Now, no joke, this is how I managed to start my cash stuffing journey. It can be very daunting having to go to the bank and ask for your money into all the denominations. It can be very daunting just doing cash stuffing in general, especially if you've been like all card. I went all in. I didn't just do half of it. I went in completely 100% the first month. Some people would like to maybe just take £100 out a month and start with that way, and then kind of like build up to go completely zero based, but I just jumped right in and just got straight to it. So that's how you start it. You just need to write your income, your bills, debt if you've got any, and then your envelopes can be whatever you want based on what you spend in your monthly life. So then what I usually do next, and I don't really do this bit on camera, maybe I should, but I kind of see what denominations I need. So let's say groceries in week 4 weeks. So I know that I would need 250s, 220s and a 10 each week. So that would be 8 20s and 4 10s. So then I would just do this. Honestly, you should see my let's put 20s and 10s, and then this one could be 5s. I don't think we need many 5s. It's very messy. I always scrap mine first. I do it on a scrap bit of paper before I write it in my book, or I've got the erasable pen, so it's fine. You also get, and I've wrote on these, so ignore it. You also get this from Budget with Ira, and you can put all your sinking funds down here. I've just got too many now that I can't use this. And then you can put in here the denominations you're needing. So like that, exactly like that, I've put £200. I need 8 20s and 4 10s. This is really messy, so I don't know how long I'm going to do it for. Or another way you could do it is you could tally it. So you could put 20s and 10s. A lot of people use like Excel and stuff for this. I'm not as savvy as that, to be honest. So I just do this. So I just go, we'll put 5s there. So I just go, right, okay, I'm needing 8 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm needing 5 20s for fuel. So I'll just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Miscellaneous, yep. And then another 2 for social. Or you could split that up into weeklies for 4. It's up to you. Eating out, I'll put 1, 2, and a 10. Like same with gifts, 1, 2, and a 10. Pets is getting 120, and children are getting 2 20s. Now this could be for their birthdays or whatever. It's up to you. Emergency, we'll do another 4 20s. 1, 2, 3, 4. 150 for maintenance, so that's 20, 40, 60, 81, 120, 140, and 150. Christmas, 1, 2, 3. Holiday, 20, and then debt, 5. And that's what I do. Then I get these cash totals and I just put the things into here. So I'm just going to do it just to make sense. So for 20s, we're going to need 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38. And that value is, I'm going to use the calculator just because it's easier, to be honest. I'd rather do that than get it wrong. 760. For 10s, we're needing 7 10s. So we're needing £70, and then we're needing 1 5. So in total, we need 760 plus 70 plus 5. 835. I do sometimes just do it on the sheet, and then what I do is I write it in really, really nicely into this budget binder, which I got from Amazon, by the way. I write it into here what my weekly amounts will be for stuffing for the weeks, because I like to take all my money out in once at the start of the month, and then I split it between the weeks, just so that it's easier for me. Because if I put £200 into my groceries, I would definitely spend more than my 70 or 50, let's say, in 1 week. 100%. I did it the first month I started cash stuffing, and I will never go back to monthly budgeting again, because I just didn't leave myself enough money for the end of the month and I was skint. So it's all about trial and errors, which is my second kind of like advice. All trial and error. You will come across envelopes that you need, envelopes that you want. You will find that you've maybe under budgeted for certain things. Like last month I upped my grocery budget to 70. This week I've actually spent just about the whole 70. I don't know how we managed on 60. It is probably just the food increases and stuff, but I might have to up that again in a couple of weeks. I don't know yet. I'm just going to wait and see. I started off with, I think, about 8 envelopes, and now I've got 4 binders and a vial of Axe. So that just shows you. So this cash totals I just taken to the bank. Now the first time they asked me a question like, oh, what are you taking this amount of money out for? It's, to be honest, they don't really bother why you're taking that much money. I think they're just kind of curious. And to kind of like see your reaction. I don't know, they maybe think somebody's forced you to go and get that amount of money. I don't know. But they know me now, so yeah, they're like, oh, hi, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. How's it going? So I hope this has really helped you guys. I mean, I know it's a bit messy. I didn't really know how to kind of go about this video, but I hope it makes sense. And if you do have any questions, please, please, please leave them below, because if you want to start cash stuffing and you're not sure how to, or if this has not explained it well enough, then please just message me on Instagram. I'm maybe easier typing it or like helping you along the way rather than just putting it all out here. I'm going to quickly just go through really, really quickly, because I know this video is getting a bit long. But I just want to make sure that everybody's happy with how they do it. Another thing is, you actually get these sheets. Now, I got this one from Fuchsia Budgets, but Budget with Ira does them, and Ella does them as well. Now, this is my budget tracker. So basically what I wrote there, you've got this here. So it tells you everything. So you've got your income, you've got your bills, you've got your cash envelopes, you've got your sinking funds, you've got debt, which I used for more sinking funds, and you've got your savings. Now, savings challenges are a whole different thing. You can start with savings challenges. Personally, I think if you're starting your cash stuffing journey for the first time, the penny savings challenge is great. And maybe just like an envelope challenge of some sort. But yeah, I wouldn't overwhelm yourself with savings challenges just yet. You begin to like the savings challenges, and you kind of see what change you've got left in your budget, to see which kind of challenges you can do, which is really ideal. So yeah, so I've showed you my file of facts. Now in this one, now this is what I was saying. So this is my personal binder. So it's my kind of variable sinking funds, but it's my personal one. It's not my joint account one. So in here, I've got my own envelope. I've got my self-care. I've got my mum's envelope, which is going to be a surprise for her 50th birthday in a couple of years, which I'm saving for. So if you were only going to have a low priority and a high priority, this would be the high priority. I've got the children, and I've got Ryan, which is my fiance. I've got time with friends, which is my social envelope. I've got shopping trip, which is kind of like my one day when I want to go for a big shopping trip. It's actually got nothing in it just now, but I want to get to the stage where I've got some money in here. and I won't feel guilty for spending in the shops. And I've got my girls trip, which is kind of like my henny and weekends away with the girls that I'm saving for. The next one is my kind of like low priority joint account one. So this is more variable. So I've got Costco and I've got gifts, occasions, which is kind of like Mother's Day, Easter, all that. Clothing, date night, eating out, school holidays, which actually should be in the long term, I think, but because I'm kind of coming close to the October holidays, I want to just have that one in here. Health, and then pet. And then for my longer term, this is where my kind of like goals and stuff are as well. I actually don't do car insurance. I'm thinking about it, but I've not done it yet. So this is my home improvement. I would like to get the kitchen done, etc. So that's in there. Garden, holiday, Florida, car, wedding, appliances, we're wanting a new fridge, mortgage, which is like overpayments, but I've not started that yet, and then emergency, and 1 month ahead. 1 month ahead's really, it should be a priority, but it's not a priority right now. I want to get my emergency fund up to 1,000 first. These little trackers are amazing. They're from What If I Fly 17. Fiona, she does an amazing job with them, and you can kind of personalise this, so they're all on Etsy. But that's a look through my binder. Now going on to the bits that you need for budgeting. Now, there's nothing to say that you can't just use simple envelopes for budgeting. There's nothing to say that you need all the fancy envelopes and fancy binder and the fancy file of facts and the fancy planner to do your budget. You don't. You can use a scrap bit of paper, you can use envelopes, you can use anything you've got around the house. I simply prefer to have stuff that I like looking at because I find it more motivating. But my first binder was actually this one. It didn't come with the vinyl, it just came with just a plain green, and then inside it came with like different envelopes. It came, I think, with either maybe 8 or 10 envelopes, and it came with stickers. Now I think that was like £10 off of Amazon, but I'm sure Budget with Mads, she used to have envelopes. She's now kind of moved on to Budget with Ella, Planning with Ella's envelopes, but she started off with just plain white envelopes, and she like just wrote on it emergency, and then once she was kind of like done with that category, she would just cross it out and then write something else, to like avoid waste. So there's nothing to say that you need all the fancy stuff to start your cash stuffing journey. You can start it right now. You can start at the end of the month, whenever you fancy, and you don't need to do challenges. This is all about your journey, and I just obviously want people to remember that it is your journey. I know I've said it already, but I just think that cash stuffing can be so overwhelming, and you see people with all these like fancy nails, fancy budgeting stuff, and like, I mean, I've got about 4 jars here now for my coins and stuff, but I didn't start with all that. So yeah, if I had any musts, I think this budget planner is one of the best things that I have purchased. In here I've got, I know I've said I've already had a long video, you've got savings trackers, and you've got your bill payments. Now this is where my date is, so actually my mattress is only £329, not £389, that's good. But yeah, my, what's it called, laptop is now complete, so I've got nothing left for that. That's my wedding. You've got different things in here, like I probably don't use it to its maximum potential, but you can. You've got notes, and they're not numbered, so you can use it whenever. And then you've got these cute little stickers as well, which help. So that being said, I do hope again you've enjoyed this video, and please just leave me some feedback below if you did enjoy it. If you didn't find it useful, then that's fine, let me know. It was purely for those ladies who have followed me who would like this kind of video, and I did ask, and if you're going to say that you want that kind of video, then I'm going to do it. So yeah, I hope it has helped someone. and good luck with your cash stuffing journey. Let me know if you want to start a channel or an Instagram or something like that, or even just a wee chat on Instagram to see how it's going, if you need any advice on anything. Yeah, let me know. Okie doke. Thank you. Bye bye.